Aryana, thank you so much for being here and for bringing these amazing peace offerings.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited. Yeah, of course. So I am currently selling a vineyard that is in Columbus, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's called 27 Winery and Vineyard, and they have 11 different varieties of wine. So I've bought 3 kinds for us to try to sample today and see what New Jersey wine's all about. So I'm excited to share with you like the fruits literally of their labor.
Yeah, of New Jersey's labor.
Literally, and I gotta tell you, New Jersey wine is really getting put on the map now. There's articles that are coming out every single day. I'll pour for you first about how the New Jersey wine scene's really taking off. So we're gonna start with the Chardonnay. So it's supposed to taste like stone fruit. You'll get hints of apple, you'll get hints of pear. It's really clean on your palate. This is like the backbone of this vineyard is this wine. I would say this is the star for them and their production. So cheers to them. Cheers to us.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't expect it to be a little bubbly.
Right? And it has that.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. And it still has that palate taste where you can tell that it's like the fruit is still coming together. It's soft. I mean, to me, it's really refreshing and delicious.
I love it.
I love a white wine anyway. So
I love white wines that are not sweet. Like even the reds, I love everything like dark.
Me too.
Smoky.
Me too.
Do not like sweet. So this is perfect because it's even got like a little like tanginess to it.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting because this is from 2024. So it's only a year old. This is last season's grape. So as it continues to ferment and the process goes on, different flavors will come out. And so this bottle next year will taste different than it does today, which is pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful too.
Yeah. They got different designers to do each label. They found independent graphic designers to do each label.
I love that.
And it's really cool and unique. And it's a father and son who are doing this. It's a passion project. So it's really cool to kind of get behind and support, you know?
Love family businesses, right? Like it's all about that. And I feel like we're starting to get into the point where we're starting to really support family businesses.
For sure.
Speaking of family businesses, can you tell me how you got into real estate?
Yeah, so I never set out to be a realtor. It wasn't something that was like on my vision board or dream board as a child. But I was working in California. Actually, I owned my own marketing and advertising firm in Southern California.
Oh, wow.
And then when I started dating my husband, long distance, because small world, was from the same town I grew up in New Jersey. It came time that, after 6 or 8 months of dating and flying back and forth, we were like, okay, well, one of us needs to make a move.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I live in California. It's summer every day. So sell your business and move to California. And he was like, well, Aryana, I own a business too. And I live in the same town as your 3 brothers and your mom and my brother. So I think you're not going to win this one. Like get your North Face ready, like buy a winter jacket and come back to New Jersey.
Oh my gosh.
I did. Sold the business, came home. And then I was kind of like lost for a little while in the sense that I wasn't going to do something unless I was passionate about it. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that when I left California, to be able to say, hey, I'm not taking on another role until it's something I can really get behind. And so I helped him with his business for a few years. And then I did consulting for different companies. And I was consulting for one of his uncles has an environmental firm in New Jersey. And I was working for him. And he said to me, Aryana, listen, I buy as an investor a lot of real estate and you need to be my agent. Like you're so sharp and this is like perfect for you. Like go get your license and then we'll buy all these investments together, essentially. Like I'll use you, you can find the investments. And to this day, he's like, that's the worst advice I ever gave you because you walked out of my office and never came back. Like you just kind of like hit the ground running.
Oh my gosh.
And he's obviously joking, but he put the wheel in motion. He was like, you're a people person. You're a natural, like, I guess like there's so much of real estate's caregiving, like caregiving, hand-holding, but also salesperson. So it just kind of fell into my lap.
Wow, that's so amazing. So you had an amazing mentor to kind of teach you how to, start this new endeavor. And then the student became the teacher, and then you started
spread my wings.
Wow, that's amazing. And I totally agree with him. You, from the moment I met you, you had like this way of like connecting with people, like immediately making people feel like I've known you forever. And this is the first time we've had time alone.
Literally.
Outside of school activities.
Totally.
Because both of our kids go to school together. And I feel like I've known you forever. And what a amazing gift to have.
Well, that's a great quality, right? Like hearing that from you makes me feel good about myself. Like, Aryana, like that's a great compliment.
No, it is. And it is a gift that some people are born with. And the fact that you're using that to help other families find their forever homes and to find their properties for their new businesses and helping the vineyards, get people to come and make this a big thing. It's amazing. Were you already a mom when you started this?
No, I was not a mom. So I started in like mid to end of 2017. And I was not a mom. I was getting married that year.
Okay.
So I got my license in the beginning of the year. Didn't really do much other than threw myself like full force, 2 feet in every single day, like a 9 to 5, going to the office at the firm that I worked for at the time.
Yeah.
Because real estate's very different than a lot of businesses. There's nobody there to really guide you. Like it's not where you get some like hands-on training and people are like, well, you want to be a realtor? Okay, so let's do A, B, C, D, and you're going to learn how to sell a house.
Right.
Like you pass your state test and then you show up on day one, you're like, I'm here, like I'm ready to be a realtor. And everyone's like, okay, great. Nice to meet you. And turns the other way and goes and sells their house.
Yeah, you better figure it out.
Yeah, we work for ourselves. And like a lot of people don't realize I hang my license with a broker, but I work for myself. I have my own LLC. I'm my own boss. So at that time, I was getting married. Kids were not on the radar yet.
Yeah.
They were always kind of in my life plan, but I never had like a timeline for myself.
Right, you weren't in a rush.
No, and I don't think I ever really was like the type of personality to say, hey, I'm ready to stop what I'm doing and try to do the mom thing now.
Right.
It's just not who I am.
Yeah.
So the kids kind of like came after. You know, like I was really focused on myself and reinventing myself, having moved across the country and starting this relationship and wanting a sense of independence, right? Like as a woman, not just being defined by the relationship that I was in because I had left a state, right? Wow. Left a business, left my friends, moved across the country. And so then I'm, now essentially like a professional girlfriend.
Wow.
Because I'm not really working. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm consulting. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I'm like, I need something for my own. And then that became my focus.
Wow, that's so amazing, that kind of evolution that you had between kind of finding yourself, finding your niche. How were you going to use all of these gifts and these wants that you wanted to kind of incorporate into a career and an endeavor and something that was going to fill your cup in a way that, just not being at home and being a wife. And it's so important to do that. It's so important for moms who are currently, or rather for women that are currently, in the thick of it in their careers and loving what they do, but also scared to start a family because they're afraid of that stereotype that if once you become mom, you better kiss your career goodbye.
I was totally scared of that. And I have to tell you, like for a long time, and I had kids, what's considered to be like older. I think I got married at 33. I had my first child at 35. I had my second child at 38. God willing, I have a third child. I'll be in my 40s. And
you don't look a day over 30.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that. I attribute it to me thinking as a young woman and just the societal role that America kind of gives us is that you choose success as a woman, and you're either like the boss babe who's going to work in her outfit and her heels and going to the city, or you're the mom. And you don't do both. You're one or the other. And so I wasn't ready to not achieve my goals. And I was I want to say like, in my mind, then I thought I was selfish. Now I realize that that's not a negative thing. Like I really just wanted to make sure that I had something of my own, which I think is so important for women.
So important.
And regardless of whether you're married, you're not married, you're single, you're whatever, like you have to have your own, and you have to be able to achieve your goals and your dreams. And I think I thought the day I have a child, my goals take a back burner and my life is over in the sense of being Aryana with ambition and Aryana with goals and Aryana with dreams. So in my mind, I'm like, well, I can't have kids yet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't achieve anything yet.
Yeah.
Like I have to build my life and be this person and do this stuff. And that's such bullshit. Like that's not
pick and
true.
choose. You do not need to pick and choose.
And the reality is my best years I've had in real estate were the years after I've had my children. Like literally, because now I have something that I'm working for. Like I've always been super ambitious and super hungry and super just driven.
Yeah.
But the second these kids came, I'm like, this is why I work these hours. This is why I am taking the phone calls at 11 o'clock at night. And this is why I'm waking up at 5 a.m. And this is why I'm doing this, because it's about me still, but my why is them.
Yes.
So like they gave me this, you know what I mean? So,
I totally agree with that. And the fact that society tells us that we have to pick and choose where and when we succeed and that we can only succeed at one thing, you know, like, no, we can have a successful career and have a successful parenting life and,
100%.
and a marriage, and we can have it all, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to take the time to be selfish. And I don't even like that word because it's just, it's got this like negative tone to it, but it shouldn't.
Not. But it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, because when you take that time to really fulfill that cup of yours with whatever it is that you want, whether it's going to the gym and having your career and being a mother and having a husband, then you're a better person for it.
Totally. And you're a better mom.
You're a better mom. You're a better
wife.
daughter. You're a better wife.
All of
and
it.
I am just learning this because when I had my son, I thought, oh, well, you know, my husband is a successful doctor now.
Take a step back. Take a back seat.
Well, yeah. Like, why am I going to put my kids with childcare? You know, I'm just gonna, you know, take a break and see if staying at home, being a stay-at-home mom works for me. And it did for a little bit. I loved that time with my kids and being here. But I, just like you, I've always been very ambitious. I've had like 4 to 5 different careers. And I've just always dipped my toes in everything from, you know, the arts and doing musical theater and singing. And then I was like, why the hell not? I'm going to go and do finance at Northwestern Mutual. Like, I've always been like, I want to just learn, and learning keeps me motivated. It keeps me ambitious. It keeps me healthy in so many ways. And I just didn't feel like staying at home and being a stay-at-home mom was making me a better person. I was cranky, you know, that all that ambition was really not going anywhere.
That part. See, nobody really talks about that because there's this stigma about it where you should want to be with your kids 24/7. And the reality is, I don't want to be with my kid 24/7. I don't. And I love my child. Nobody loves my child more than I do. But at the end of the day, I'm a better mom when I leave the house for a few hours and can fill my own cup with the things that I need. And then when I come back, be 100% focused on you. Because if I'm with you 24 hours a day, I'm not focused on you. I'm not. I'm distracted by all of these things because I'm not happy. And not to say my kids don't make me happy, because that's what society makes you feel like. If you say you don't want to be home with your kids, you're a bad mom. I'm not saying I don't want to be home with my kids. I love my kids. I can be home with my kids for a few hours a day. I can totally do that. I love that.
But then there's also that duality of like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you are a full-time mom, you're like, oh, you know, why would you throw away your career? You worked so hard to do that and to be at home with your kids. Okay. And then you go and be a full-time worker, full-time working mom. And it's like, oh, but don't you miss your kids? Like, oh, you don't get to raise your kids. But that's just not the point. That's not what it's all about. You are there. You are present. And if anything, you have the capability of showing your kids that they are capable of being full-time, working, ambitious, successful humans, and at the same time have a family and be in a healthy marriage, and everything just falls into place when your cup is full.
Totally. And the thing about it that I think that is important for me, like when somebody asks me about the sacrifices that I make, or, you know, do you feel like your kids are missing out and you're not there? I know I'm not going to be the mom at every soccer practice. I'm not going to be the mom at every spelling bee. It's just not going to happen. But what I hope that my boys are learning is that their mom is independent. They're learning independence, because what I want to be able to instill in my children is the ability to fend for themselves. And if I'm not there to figure something out for you, if I'm not picking you up from school, how are you getting home? Like, figuring life out, because that's what life's about. And I want to be able to guide you to be the best version of yourself. And I hope that one day they say, our mom chose herself as a priority in her life. Because you see a lot of older children whose moms were so helicopter and so focused only on them. When those children leave, because they do, then what do you have left? And who are you? Like, I'm Caspian's mom, but that's not my identity. He is my child. I'm a best friend. I'm a daughter. I'm a realtor. I'm a mother to my clients. Honestly, I'm all of these things. A lot of people need me in different capacities. And because I'm not with my kids 24/7 a day, doesn't mean that I'm not giving them what they need. They get the best of me when they have me. And I think that's important.
And that's more than enough. That's more than enough. I am releasing my Mother's Day episodes this weekend, and one of the episodes is with my mom. And we talk about that because I didn't get that in my childhood. My mom was so helicopter. She devoted every minute and every second of her time to taking care of my brother and I. So it was a huge shock to her when we left the house. What was she going to do with herself?
Of course.
And during that whole time during my childhood, she was so miserable because I like to think that I got my my ambition and my workaholism from her. So when she didn't have anything else outside of motherhood, she was just so cranky, and she honestly wasn't present. She was there all the time.
She was physically there.
She was physically there, but she wasn't really actually there. Emotionally, she wasn't there because she was so sad about leaving her career behind in Ecuador. She was in a very successful banker, and she came here to the United States and decided, I'm just going to be a stay-at-home mom. So it was really, really hard for me to see her like that, to see the fact that she was not happy being a stay-at-home mom. So I really, really urge moms or soon-to-be moms, when they think about, leaving their careers and leaving their jobs, to be stay-at-home moms. They think a lot of them are like, I heard one friend of mine say like, oh, it's so awesome, you get to retire early. And I'm like, no, it's not retiring early. It's sacrificing
100%. And you're still like, the thing about it is it's hard. Like, being a stay-at-home mom is not a vacation.
No,
it's not a luxury. It's not retirement.
No,
like, what are you talking about? That woman who maybe is like on her way to being a mom and is going to have a child or whatever, you're the CEO of your home and of your child's life. And the reality is, it's a lot of work. And neither is better or like, I don't want people to think that I think that if you're a stay-at-home mom, you feel less than somebody who's working.
No.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
That's too much work for me.
It's too much work.
That's too much work.
And it's invisible load that people don't see. It's a thankless job. You don't get compensated.
100%.
And so if there's a lot of women out there who are super happy with that.
Labor of love.
Super happy with that.
Not for me, but it's a labor of love.
I have just found out the last year that I've only been a stay-at-home mom for a year and a half.
It's not your journey.
And I was like, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy.
Right.
I need to have something of my own that does not involve my kids. And I've always wanted to help people, and I've always liked storytelling, and I've loved the arts, but I just didn't see myself going back to the careers that I had. Those were chapters that I closed and that I was happy closing. But I still was like, I do want something of my own, something where I can still be, present and still kind of be a stay-at-home mom, because my husband works a lot. And then I was like, I could totally be my own boss. Like, why not? And I had a lot of people who told me, your kids are still so little. Why don't you wait until Lucas goes to school?
Why
are you going to start a business? You just had a baby.
Why not?
And that for me was like even more of
motivating.
A push.
Right.
Because I was like, I can do it. I can do it. I have the ambition and I have the tools to start something that is going to fill my cup that motherhood is just not doing for me.
Right.
And I know that it'll make me a better mom and a better person. So starting this podcast and starting my endeavor with the Hidden Hues of Motherhood and helping moms kind of, talk about all the truth.
Yeah.
Really, the truth is something that has filled my cup so much. And it's just, that is the only, proof that I need. That's the only proof that I need.
Totally.
Everybody can think what they want and society can think what they want, but I am a mother, and then I'm also now a host of a podcast, and now I'm a business owner. I have an
congratulations.
LLC, and I'm going to continue. Thank you. And I'm going to continue to find more roles to play because we're completely capable of doing it.
Totally.
Tell me about the support that you have from your husband.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really important to have that.
Totally. And I'm so fortunate. I do have a husband who is a cheerleader. And also, he's my number one fan. He's my cheerleader. He, most importantly, lets me be great. Mm-hmm. And I think that if it wasn't for that support, it would be much harder to navigate in this space as an entrepreneur, because my husband owns his own business. He himself is an entrepreneur, and being in a house with two parents who don't have steady income, benefits, 401ks, retirement plans, like any of that traditional structure is not existent in my home. And he still lets me not be the star, but essentially he takes a little bit of a back seat because my job is client facing. I'm public facing. When my clients call me, I am picking up my phone. I work 7 days a week. Yeah. It's the reality of it. And he understands that the nature of his business is a little bit different. And so we both sacrifice, but for him to be able to just say, Aryana, I understand that you're not going to be home for dinner tonight, or I understand that you're working all weekend, or I understand that, you're leaving the house at 8 and not coming home until 11. Like, I have those days. Yeah. And he never once was like, I don't want you to do this. And even getting into it, because when you start a business, the money doesn't come on day one.
No, I'm just learning that. No,
it takes time. The average business takes 3 years to turn a profit. It's just the reality of it. Yeah. For me, my first sale in real estate came 6 months after I started. Wow. So that's 9 to 5 every day for 6 months. That's amazing. A lot of days more than 9 to 5, and not making $1. Wow. And then when you make that first $1, then you're giving a percentage to your broker. It totally is, but you're giving a percentage to your broker, and then to taxes and this and that. And it's like, there's so much glory on the outside of it. But then when you're in it, it is a struggle to really get started. And somebody else might have said, we're trying to build a foundation. Like, we just got married. Yeah. You're capable of going out and getting a 6-figure job. Go be in corporate America. Go to Manhattan. Go work in the industries you have degrees in. Yeah. And never one time was he like, Aryana, you need to do something else. He was like, you make money when you make money. Like, this is your dream. You want to be independent. You want to do this. You want to build this, build it. Yeah. So that partnership is super important. And then when it came to kids, obviously as women, we do much more. Yeah. With the best husband and the best father,
it's just
we still do more. Yeah. Like, once the kids came and the first child was in a really difficult time. It was COVID. The world was shut down. Yeah. I wasn't selling houses. People weren't leaving their house, let alone buying or selling houses in those first few months. And then things changed and, the world opened back up, and the market went crazy. And I said, I have to make my money right now. Like there's this window here where we don't know how long it's going to last. There's a ton of money coming in from New York with the people with the urban sprawl who have like a PTSD of being in 1,100 square foot apartment or 700 square foot apartment being like, I need a house in New Jersey. And I was like, let me just go make my money. And he was like, get it, girl. And I went out and got the money, and he took care of my kid while working. And we still to this day alternate. Like it's my husband and my mom and me like on a rotation without a schedule. Cause we, again, are entrepreneurs. So there's no schedule. And it's like, we make it work.
Yeah.
But somebody else would have been like, Aryana, you need to, slow your roll a little bit. Like with my second, I had him on a Friday, like Good Friday. On Monday, I was picking out cabinets, like literally with a client. And nobody said anything other than it's who she is.
Yeah, she's a mom. She's a real estate agent. She's a boss lady. You gotta just
and she's someone with a really supportive partner.
100%,
which is so critical.
So critical. Oh, let's open another bottle.
You want to? Yeah, you want to try a different kind?
Yeah, let's try another.
Okay, so this is a Chamberson. This is the most popular red grape that's planted in New Jersey. And red grapes and red wine are harder to grow and produce in New Jersey than white just because of our climate. But last year we had a really great, hot, dry summer.
We did.
As opposed to the year before where we had like a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like a pretty good body, well balanced. This is the second most popular grape that they have in their vineyard, like the second highest quantity.
Wow.
So we'll try this. All right. Is this the first mommy podcast where you're drinking on set?
100%.
I love that. I'm part of that. I mean, that's so on brand for me. So I'm really
I know it is. When you asked, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I not surprised? But also you should know, this means so much to me. It's been 6 months for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. So I don't want you to.
No. It was honestly, it was just like nothing's happened in the last 6 months. And then also I was on this like journey of losing weight and all that. And then I think it was like 4 weeks ago, I hit the goals I wanted to at Lifetime, and also the weight and everything. And I was like, okay, cool. I can go back to drinking now. And then I was just like, okay, I guess I can go back to drinking whenever I go out. And I haven't been out in the last 4 weeks.
Well, cheers to your, first day essentially after 6 months.
Delicious.
I'm sorry to the trainers at Lifetime who are going to pick up a bad influence now.
Okay.
So this is so interesting because you can still taste like on the back of your tongue, you can taste like the changing flavors, right? Like I feel like it really is a full-bodied wine.
It tastes different when you first take the sip and then afterwards.
Totally.
It's almost like a smoky. That's delicious. I love it. It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not like too, like you said, it's not too dark.
No, and it's not heavy like a cab. Like it's not, that like bold in your face spice flavor, but it still has like the good notes, and you can still taste the fruit. And there's a little bit of that mouthfeel. Like when you're done, it's like a little like,
So it's good. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah. The winemaker is from Napa. Okay. So it's really cool because like you really see him like come to life when he talks to you about the different grapes and the varieties and the blends and the stuff that they're doing. So
wow.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Do you have anything you want to tell us about the winery? Is this a winery that you are currently trying to sell?
Yeah, so 27 Winery and Vineyard was started by a father and son. And it's funny, he has a different business in the town and would drive past it almost like for years. And when I say drive past it, I mean the farm, because that's what it is. It's 185 acres, right? And it was kind of more or less, for lack of a better term, like a disaster when he bought it. Just surrounded by other farms, and it was kind of like run down. And he had always had this passion for wine and a dream. And like us, was like, I'm going to do it, and jumped with 2 feet in and bought the land. And spent years cleaning it up. And then like in 2015, and then they started to plant actual grape in 2017. And it's not overnight, right? So it takes a few years for that to happen. And then they started producing wine 2020, 2021, 2022. And so now they've gotten so many different varieties. And so the property is a full-blown winery. Like everything,
it's all running and everything.
It's not open. So these guys have taken it about 75% of the way. So the property has the vineyards, the fully mature vineyards, which is about 11 acres of planted vineyard. And then you have an 11,000 square foot mansion from the 1700s, like older than our country.
Wow.
Which is insane. And
That's
then
so crazy.
Yeah, the winemaking production facility. And so these guys are leaving the country when they sell their other business. And so there's an opportunity for somebody to come in now and purchase it and do what they want to do with it, which is so cool because somebody like you could buy it. And because it's never been opened, you could call it whatever you wanted. It's on mile marker 27 on the highway that it's on. So you could run with this and their labels. And because it comes with $2.5 million worth of wine inventory with the purchase, by the way. So you're making money. So, but if you want to call it Lulu's Wine, you're calling it Lulu's Wine, or you're calling it 27 Winery and Vineyard. And that's the beauty of the project, is that it's ready for somebody who has a dollar and a dream to get involved and take it to the next level, which in my opinion is an amazing wedding facility and banquet hall and that kind of thing. Or maybe you just have an 11,000 square foot mansion and grow your own food and live on a commune and everything's organic and you grow your own wine and your kids run feral or whatever.
My husband is going to die listening to this because we just sold a year ago our farm in Georgia.
Okay.
And
I got one in New Jersey, girl. I got one in New Jersey.
Oh my gosh. We had to sell our farm and it was just like that. It was like a mansion and we had like these ideas of making it into a wedding venue, something like that. I've always wanted to do something like that. That would be so cool. Baby, can we please buy this?
I mean, seriously. And the thing about it too is there isn't something like this in New Jersey. No. There's a lot of cool venues. There's a lot of cool vineyards, but there's not really a meeting of the two where you're hosting 200 or 300 guests in this rural farm-like setting, but you're an hour from Manhattan, an hour from the shore, like 40 minutes from Philly. So it's the perfect location. And in my opinion, $6.5 million for 185 acres is a pretty fair price tag. So.
And you can literally do whatever you want with it. Do you have any advice for women who want to start a career in real estate agency or an entrepreneurship?
Totally. I think first you have to be really honest with yourself and ask yourself what it is that you want. And are you really willing to work for it? And is it something that if you don't do it, you'll be unhappy? I don't think you can have it all. I think you can be it all. I think you can be everything. You can be a mom. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a badass. You can be all of those things. Yes. Can you have it all? I don't know, because I don't have it all. Like I'm not in pickup lines every afternoon and every morning. Am I there a few days a week? Sure, because I am an entrepreneur. I can like change my time. Yeah. But am I gonna miss events? 100%. Do I work weekends? 100%. Do I work 7 days a week? 100%. So you have to be willing to do those things and make the sacrifices. And people look at my lifestyle and they're like, you know, you're so lucky. You have so much time. You do so much with your kids. And it's because they don't see what's going on behind the scenes, which is that I work for 3 months for 7 days a week, and then I take my kids on a week vacation.
Wow.
And then I work 3 months, 7 days a week, and then I take my kids on a week vacation. And it's like, if you're an entrepreneur, no one works as hard for you as you do. You're building a business. You're your brand. You need to wake up and eat, drink, sleep, breathe your business and be a wife and be a mom.
Wow.
So it's like, can you have it all? I don't know. Can you be it all? Yes. You have to want it. And you have to be hungry. And that's one of those things where it's like, I've always been that person. It's never enough for me. It's never enough. And my husband will be like, well, when is it enough? Like, how big of a house do you need? Or what kind of car do you need? I'm like, you're not getting it. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's always about wanting to be the best at what I do and the next level of greatness and achieving it. And I think that's just the ambition and the hunger and like essentially the drive and grit that you have.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to start your business, do it. but do it knowing that it's not easy.
Yeah.
And be willing to be married to your business and mother your business. And there's sacrifices you have to make. I make sacrifices. I sell real estate. I work Sundays. Like Sunday is my Monday.
Right.
So if my kid has a soccer game on Sunday, I'm not going to be there. I'm just not.
Yeah.
If there's a birthday party on a Sunday, I'm probably not going to be there, or even on a Saturday or on a Tuesday or Wednesday, because not that my clients come first, but my business is also my baby.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do those things, kudos to you, 100%, get into it. That's like my first thing. It's like mentality. Do you have what it takes? If you think that you do, like you, I would say the next best advice I could give you is don't wait. It's never going to be the right time. It's not the right time to have a baby. It's not the right time to get married. It's not the right time to buy a house. It's not the right time to start a business.
That's so true.
It's not the right time.
So true.
Just do it. Stop overthinking it. Jump in with 2 feet. If it's real estate, like you asked, real estate specific, my best advice I could give you is join a team. If you're green and you don't know one thing about selling houses, go to real estate school, figure out what town you want to sell real estate in, find the best agent in that town and say, I want to
learn from you. I want to learn from you.
I want to learn from you. I want to work for you. I want to do all of these things because like when I first started, there would happen to be somebody in my office who let me learn from them. I didn't make $1 off of them. I was at work every day for 6 months shadowing this person, going on every appointment, listening to every phone call, driving around, watching them like put signs in the ground, which, you know, but that for me was a crash course, an Ivy League education in real estate. So if you want to be successful in real estate, humble yourself, don't have an ego, and learn from somebody. Find a mentor. Find somebody who you could literally be like the gopher, you know, because I was
shadowing.
I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I'm in my 30s when I started in real estate. I sold a business and here I am, a gopher to this agent in a small boutique firm in Springfield, New Jersey. But here I am like following him in the car and going to every appointment. And guess what? I learned what I needed to learn. So be willing to learn, have an open mind, have no ego about it. And then I would say the other piece of advice I could give you is give yourself grace. Like let yourself fail. Let yourself be great. Let yourself have your moments of doubt and take pressure off of yourself. Society's pressure of what it's supposed to be like for you as a woman, as a mom, as a business owner, as a human being, and what your role is. Because I think so many of us are so concerned about other people's perception.
Yeah.
And like, I find myself doing that too. Like the whole new age of real estate is being like a social media influencer. Like I literally like dance on the internet for money, you know? All I wanted to do was sell houses.
Oh my God, same here.
Like, I wanted to sell houses. Now I'm like recording myself doing stupid dances, you know? But don't overthink it. Just do it. It's like everything in life.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about you as much as you think they do.
That's so true.
Like they don't care.
So true. And you have to be able to compartmentalize all of that. Like, you know, just like pick and choose what works for you. Pick and choose the negativity that's going to fuel you, that's going to make you more ambitious and be like, oh, okay, you know, this person is telling me I can't do this. Watch me. Because you're capable of doing it. Like you said, we might not be able to do everything, but we can certainly try and be whatever we want.
You totally are.
And that all those 3 advices were amazing.
In real estate, you, as a realtor in New Jersey, you have to hang your license with a brokerage. I chose Christie's because it's a 250-year-old business. It is the same as the auction house in Manhattan, and they have essentially different categories that they specialize in. So luxury goods, cars, wine, real estate, art.
Wow.
So around the world, the world's wealthiest individuals, for the most part, are consigning their art or their wine or their goods with the Christie's auction house. And so when I got my legs in real estate, I wanted to associate myself with a brand that was synonymous with luxury, because obviously that was the brand that I felt was most in line with what I wanted to present to my clients, and not just that aspect of it, but like the white glove service that comes with it. Because I think it's important that regardless of what price point you're at, you get the same hand holding and level. And it's funny because one of the negatives I've had since being with the brand is somebody who has a home that they feel like is on the lower end of the price point spectrum will say, well, I'm not at Christie's house. I said, but you deserve the Christie's level of service.
Right.
Right. So Christie's has been a really great opportunity for me. And it's really an amazing place to be associated with. Other than that, I am, and this is one of the things that one of my mentors has told me that, and I think as a woman, it's a problem that we all have is like, we don't brag enough about ourselves. And I don't know if brag is the right word, but like we're so humble.
That's true.
I feel like men,
That's true.
So men are so much to be like, hey, well, I'm like the number one, blah, 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 this, that, whatever. It's like, okay, well, women just kind of are used to not doing that for themselves. So in like a 30-second pitch of myself.
Do it, Aryana.
So in 2024, I was the number one sales agent for Christie's and Summit, and I specialize in New Jersey. So if you want to buy or sell in New Jersey, it's a dating process. I think you kind of have to date your town and figure out what different towns will give you in terms of friends. Because let's be real, like as a mom, your friends will be the moms of the kids that are in the school that your kids are in.
Yeah.
So what are the schools like? What's the town like? What is the price point of the homes like? And you might be a commuter, so you need things that are on a train line. You might be somebody who doesn't need to commute, and so then you can kind of do the 78 corridor, or you can do the shore, and all of those things are fun, exciting things to figure out. So if you want to sell a house in Rumson, or buy a house in Summit, or be in Glen Ridge or Warren, call me.
Amazing.
Like, I'm here to hold your hand and walk you through it. And again, like, be the mom to my clients, because that's essentially what it is. Like, you're guiding somebody through a really important, stressful, hard, fun stage of their life.
Yeah.
Which is what we do. We nurture, right?
And that's like, you do both of those in mothering your children.
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
So amazing. I love that, because I feel like that's when the best qualities of ourselves are shown. And that's when our jobs become authentic and genuine, when you're bringing in that nurturing and wanting your clients and whoever it is that you're working with to flourish with you, you know? So that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Aryana. And thank you for the wine.
Yes,
for bringing
exactly.
the wine.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One last time. Please, everybody come and call Aryana. I will have her information down at the end of this episode. Okay.
I'm here to help, here to serve.
Bye.
Bye, guys.